Hey guys, Joe here, back to the Word, and in this video I'm going to be unboxing the recent collection of Spurgeon sermon volumes to come out from Reformation Heritage Books in their partnership with Midwestern Baptist Theology Seminary. We're going to be unboxing in this video the Expanding Ministry Years collection, which is the Metropolitan Tabernacle Pulpit sermon volumes by Spurgeon from 1861 to 1876. This collection, this thematic collection that RHB has been releasing, all 63 sermons from Spurgeon. That's their plan. They have the first set out, the revival years. This is the second one. Expanding Ministry has 16 volumes as a part of this kind of thematic collection. And I'm super excited to get into it and share it with you guys. After that unboxing, I'm going to go through maybe some concerns and questions you might have as you're thinking about getting this set or these collection of Spurgeon sermons that are being done by Reformation Heritage Books, and some things about price and discounts and all those things. I'm going to talk a little bit about that after the unboxing part of this video, as well as some of the other videos I've done on my channel for the Revival Year set, some of Spurgeon Sermon publication stuff, some other future videos coming out. I'll tell you where you can get those and find those really easy later on in this video. Everything is timestamped, so if you want to hop ahead to the section that most interests you, feel free to do so. This channel is Back to the Word. My channel exists to equip and encourage you to read the Bible, good books like Spurgeon sermon volumes, and have conversations that truly matter. If you want others to see this content, give it a like. If you want to follow along, subscribe, hit that notification bell to get more content like this. So, with that, let's hop into the unboxing. First up, how is this going to arrive at your door? How is this 16-volume collection arriving? This huge box right here from Reformation Heritage Books is showing up on your doorstep, 41 pounds. So I already took the set out of that. Then once you get into that box, you're going to have two more boxes. I have them right here that are going to make up the whole collection. So the first box here is volume 7 through 14 with the name of the set, the Expanding Ministry Collection, Metropolitan Tabernacle Pulpit, 1861 to 1876. And then the second one has volumes 15 through 22. So 16 volumes total between those two boxes. Once you get out of those boxes, you're going to find two more boxes right here that I'm going to open up for you guys, and we're going to look at this set together. So let's do that right now. So here is the first box for volumes. I believe it's 7 through 14. So let's open these together. Apologize for the camera angle. These are really tall boxes, but let's go ahead and open this together. All right, so here we are. Volume 7, starting at 1861. I already did an unboxing for the Revival Year set, and so each one of them was individually wrapped in cellophane, and so they have continued that right here. Volume 7, 1861. Next one, Volume 8, 1862. Volume 9. Notice how thick they are. You get this really nice spine printing. So RHB, Reformation Heritage Books, in cooperation with Midwestern Baptist Theology Seminary, most notably the Spurgeon Library that's on the campus of Midwestern. The volume, Metropolitan Tabernacle Pulpit. Really, really well done. We'll look more at this here in a second. So Volume 9, 1863. We get to Volume 10, 1864, then Volume 11, 1865, and, we have Volume 13, 1867. So maybe we have, Volume 13, 1867 again. So maybe I'm missing 12. Hopefully RHB sends me the right one, or maybe they put it in a different box. I don't know why I have two 13s, but here's volume 14, 1868. So I'm just opening that for you guys. We'll see what's in the next box. But I already know that I have two volume 13s, which is kind of concerning, but didn't have that problem with the first one. And Reformation Heritage Books is a really reputable printer and bookstore, so I know they'll make it right if they did just send me two 13s. But let's see what's in this one. So this should be volumes 15 through 22, all individually packaged again. So 15, 1869. We got 16, 1870, 17, 1871, volume 18, 1872, volume 19, 1873, we get volume 20, 1874, and this was volume 21, 1875. So beautiful binding, really well done volumes here. And then the last one, volume 22, 1876. So yeah, it does appear that I'm missing volume 12, so I'll have to be reaching out to them against that. But one thing I do know about Reformation Heritage Books is they do a great job of packaging books, keeping them nice for unpacking, which you can see right there. So let's go ahead and get into the first volume of this collection. So here is volume 7, the first of this collection. So I'm going to go ahead and take the cellophane off very carefully. So Reformation Heritage Books announced in the spring of 2024 that they were going to bring back into print with the Spurgeon Library of Midwestern Baptist Theological Seminary, the 63-volume collection of Spurgeon Sermons that were published by Spurgeon's official publisher. And so they were going to do that by bringing back and putting back into print facsimile, exact reprints of those that were done by Pilgrim Publications in Pasadena, Texas. And so that's what we have right here. I talked about that when I unboxed the first collection, the revival years. These are beautiful editions. They are much thicker than those first couple volumes from Spurgeon Sermons because he was more popular, preaching more by this time in his ministry at the Metropolitan Tabernacle and known as Pulpit here, but at the Metropolitan Tabernacle, he was preaching more and publishing more of his sermons and very popular. And so this is volume 7, 1861. Each one of these kind of year collections has a introduction by Jeffrey Chang, who does history stuff for Midwestern and is over the Spurgeon Library there. And so you see these volume collections right here. Well done. This is hardback, cloth over board with this reinforced, beautiful spine kind of material here. Very much similar to what Crossway is doing with the John Owen Complete Collection right there. So the New Park Street and Metropolitan Tabernacle Pulpit containing sermons preached and revised by Reverend C.H. Spurgeon. So these are actually facsimile of the exact thing that Spurgeon would have been editing and publishing during his day, which is pretty awesome. So volume 7, 1861, it says right here, the 63-volume set of C.H. Spurgeon sermons were originally published in London by Passmore and Alabaster. That's what I just told you, as official publisher. It was then reprinted in Pasadena, Texas by Pilgrim Publications. And so RHB is picking up what Pilgrim Publications did and reprinting them. Their volume was printed at the end of 2024, but it was released, this set, in April of 2025 by Reformation Heritage Books, and then printed in China. And so you hear expanding ministry. This is the introduction by Jeffrey Chang. I'm not going to spend time doing it here, but I want to do a separate video where I actually bullet point some of the major things in this introduction, because it's really cool, because he talks through what was going on in Spurgeon's church at the time, major milestones that were going on in his life during the time, And it's pretty awesome that they do this for each one of the collections that has been promised from RHB, because they're not individually releasing volumes like one volume, but these collection of volumes. And so they've promised us, according to Dr. Joel Beakey's latest post, that the full 63 sermons will come out in 5 collections, I believe. And so that's pretty exciting. And so this is the second one right here. So this is getting into the facsimile preface that would have been in the exact sermon volume from Spurgeon. You have yours truly, C.H. Spurgeon, December 1861. His official publisher would publish his sermons every single week, edited by his own hand, and then at the end of each year would pull all of those sermons together in a collected year volume, which is what you have right here for 1861. By this time, the church had moved to the larger venue of the Metropolitan Tabernacle and was publishing them under the title the Metropolitan Tabernacle Pulpit. And so you have each one of the sermons right here at the beginning that's mentioned. And it's pretty cool. You have all the sermons are numbered, and that's a really cool feature. Tells you when it was delivered, when it was preached, where it was preached. And so this is the New Park Street Pulpit. So it starts out with him probably at the New Park Street Pulpit, and later on in the year he would have been at the Metropolitan Tabernacle Pulpit. There is an effort being done by Pilgrim Publications, a Pilgrim's Coffer Theology that is retypesetting. So these have not been retypeset. This is exact imprints of his original publisher. There are some retypeset ones out there, as well as some digital versions you can get on like Logos Bible software. I talk about those in some other videos on Spurgeon Sermons that I'll talk about later in this video. But this is what each one of these sermon volumes is going to look like, printed like this, exactly like it would have been done in Spurgeon's day, with beautiful paper. There's very little ghosting. And so you see there at the Metropolitan Tabernacle, so they switched venues partway through this year, that larger venue, because the church could no longer fit. They were turning away people all the time because of the popularity of Spurgeon's preaching. He was preaching 4 times a week for most of this time during his ministry career. And so really cool history stuff I've also covered on my channel as well. And so this is what one of those volumes looks like, each individually in cellophane. I'm going to open a separate one just to give you guys a taste. It's not worth me opening up all 16 on this unboxing video. So here's volume 15. We got this. So this is, let's look at the contents. Let's see what the preface looks like. Index of scripture text. And then right back into, the Metropolitan Tabernacle Pulpit. And so this is 1869. So pretty cool. There you get the title for the sermon at the top. One thing RHB did with the first collection is that they actually reprinted and sent it out if you got the revival years. With this volume right over here, I'll pull it in, is the New Park Street Pulpit and the Metropolitan Tabernacle Pulpit, a complete index. And so this came with the revival year set that was done by RHB, and you can actually now buy it individually from their website. And so this is a pretty cool thing. I got all of Spurgeon's sermons digitally in Logos. I talk about that in some other videos, but they have each one of these, the volume number, what sermon number it contains, and subject index. And then they have, at a certain point, it switches over to textual index, part 2, the textual index. So I think this is really cool. I have these, all of his sermons digitally, so I can search in my digital library, but I think I might get a second copy of this, maybe to keep at home, to have one at the office and one at home. But you get this if you buy the Revival Year collection, and you can buy it individually if you choose to buy another collection like the one that I just talked about, Expanding Ministry, and I'm unboxing in this video. Just for curiosity's sake, as well as documentation's sake, here are the 2 volume 13s that I got in this collection. I am curious to open them, and I think I'm actually going to open them for you guys. I have never had RHB do this to me before and send me the wrong thing. So I'm pretty sure they'll fix it. They're a pretty reputable company, but I was surprised I didn't get a volume 12. So what I'm opening them to see is I want to make sure the interior of the cover is on both are actually volume 13. So let's check just to make sure, just so I can tell RHB. Yep, this one is volume 13, 1867. So I got volume 13 right there. I should have volume 12, but the only way I'm going to know is by opening it. And I kind of almost hate doing this because I kind of wish I could send it like fresh and unopened to whoever got my 2 12s, but I kind of I want to check to see, because I'm hoping this has the, let me see what the guts are. Yep, this is volume 13. So I did get 2 volume 13. So I'll reach out to them. I don't know how long it's going to take them to replace, but those are 2 volume 13. So one of them is going to have to go back because I'm going to need volume 12. So I have a full set. So now let's move into questions and concerns you might be thinking about or have about getting this set individually. Obviously, I got 2 volume 13s. I'll reach out to RHB. I'm sure they're going to fix that. I'm sure most people don't have that issue. But when it comes to this expanding ministry set of Spurgeon volumes, as well as the full publication project that RHB is doing, what are some questions and concerns you might be thinking about? I want to address some of those, as well as just some ones I have ongoing about the project, even though I am invested in it. I'm excited to get these volumes. I love Spurgeon's preaching. I know I'm going to use them. I know you might be thinking about these things because I've been thinking about them as well. So first, I have 0 concerns about the quality of these volumes. They are beautifully printed, hardback, stand up. I've already been reading some of the first set that was released, the revival years, been marking in a few of those volumes in a particular way that makes sense to me, but preserves the beauty of those volumes. So that might freak some people out, but I wanted to actually use them, and I've been enjoying them. And I have 0 concerns that these are going to hold up and be excellent things to pass on to future loved ones and to share with others. This does leave, with the publication of this second set, 41 more volumes to publish by RHB to complete the 63 volume set. Dr. Joel Beakey, in his most recent post when they released this set, said that will be done in 3 more waves of collections over the course of the next year. And so I'm hopeful that they hit that deadline sometime in the spring of 2026. We should have all 3 waves out. Don't know what those costs are going to be. Don't know what the volume numbers for each set are going to be. But I'm hopeful that they will do that because of this concern that I have that printing in China might get astronomical and make book prices really expensive. So these are printed in China by RHB. I don't know the exact printer, but they are printed in China. And as those who are tapped into the United States right now, when I'm filming this, April of 2025, know, the US is in kind of a tariff war with China, trying to bring more production back over to the United States. And that's going to up book prices. It's got to happen. And so I was curious about this set specifically with the cost, because these volumes are quite the investment. Yes, I was super excited in spring of 2024 when RHB said they were going to bring these volumes back into print because they were astronomically expensive. Getting a Pilgrim Publications full set was thousands of dollars. You could not access Spurgeon's volumes easily for cost effectiveness for almost anyone over the last few years. And so RHB, as well as some others, have been working to make that more possible. I've talked on some other videos on my channel about some digital options that exist out there if you just want to get Spurgeon sermons that way as well. But what about this collection specifically? And so printing in China, the cost, I just think they're going to go up. And so I did run the numbers on this set specifically. So the Revival Year set was released in the fall of 2024, and the full market value or price that the RHB had set for that set currently is $300. And so if you divide that by the 6 volumes plus the 7th, the index that you get, it comes to $42 a book is what you're paying if you pay that full price. Now, RHB always runs sales. I got mine for about 50% off. They did that as a pre-order bonus for the set. They also did that at Christmas time. And so if you do a 50% off, you pay $150 for that first set, the Revival Years, and it comes down to about $21 per book. And that was when it was released in August of 2024. With tariff wars from the United States and China, I was wondering with this set, expanding ministry, these 16 volumes, how much that price had gone up. And pleasantly, not that much if you get the 50% off. And so the full set is currently marketed on RHB's site for $800 for the one that I just unboxed for you guys. I pre-ordered it at 50% off, so it was only $400. And then I actually used a discount coupon code for a podcast that I listened to. They gave me an additional 10% off, so that was another $40 off, which is really helpful when you're buying this many books all at one time. But if you buy this collection full outright, $800, it comes to $50 a book, which is pretty pricey. But if you do the 50% off, which RHB does for pre-order, and I'm thinking they'll probably do it around Christmas time, again, it comes to about $400 and $25 a book. So 50% off price for the Revival Years and Expanding Ministry come to, one's $21 or almost $22 a book, and one's $25 for per sermon volume. So they're not too much off. And I'm hoping that the price doesn't increase over time, but we will have to see. So make sure you're paying attention to, obviously if you're getting this set, you're paying enough to get free shipping, but pay attention to those sales around Christmas when they're doing pre-order bonuses, special promotion things, as well as pay attention to podcasts or places you might be able to get a promotion code. I used to have a promotion code through RHB because I was working with them to, share about some things that expired. So just keep an eye on which ones are updated, which ones are still active, and maybe get a discount when you order from them. So the thing about timeline is I'm really hoping they get these out over in the next year or so, that they're printed well, that they're done excellently to last for years to come so that we can read more of Spurgeon. I ultimately got this set and I'm sharing about it now because I want more people reading Spurgeon's sermons. As someone who's Baptist, but also more Reformed leaning in various parts of my soteriology, as well as some of my faith and practice, I love Spurgeon, but I also love his evangelistic zeal. And I think the church could benefit from more people reading Spurgeon, focusing on Christ through his preaching and being edified and encouraged, and passing that on to edify and encourage others. So with that, if you have questions, I would love to answer some of those. If you have things that you know that I don't, please tell me below in the description as well. I love to learn with you guys, share what knowledge I have. I'm going to do a history video coming up where I dive into Jeffrey Chang's introduction to this collection and do a bullet point, some of the major things that were going on in Spurgeon's life. So if you want to check out that video, I'll link it in the description once I put that video out. As well as I've also done other videos on Spurgeon sermon related topics that you can all get in my Spurgeon playlist, which I'll link below or link above right there in the card and below in the description as well. So with that, until next time, continue to read, treasure, follow the word. God bless, and I'll see you guys soon.